All right, well, we are back. The conference championship is now in the books. We know who's going to be facing off in the Super Bowl, and I am rocking the hockey jersey because I am exhausted because I just spent an hour and a half shoveling a bunch of snow and getting almost nowhere because the snow at my house, the top layer is it's like a sheet of ice. Like I'm grabbing huge chunks of snow and tossing it aside. And I just did that for the last hour and a half. So I am about exhausted. And since it's so damn cold, we're rocking the hockey jersey today, even though we have no hockey to talk about. But we do have a lot to talk about in terms of football because we know who's in the Super Bowl. Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowler. Perfect. I mean, we'll get to that when the time comes. And Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. We will get into all of that and more in this episode of the show. But let's kick this off with the AFC Championship because we had two conference championships on Sunday. One of them was an outstanding game, and then one of them was the Patriots and the Broncos. That was hard to watch. That game, in my opinion, was a huge blow to any of the boomers who say, and sometimes I'm in this group, how great the weather games are, the snow, because that was abysmal. I was about bored to death watching that game. But the Patriots won 10-7. The mighty Patriots defense was able to stymie Jarrett Stidham and win the game despite Drake May throwing for, I believe, 82 yards. And I believe you have a lot to say in the Patriots, so you go ahead and go first.
Yeah, I don't like the Patriots, but so I actually do think the Seahawks are the better team. But I think I'm going to take blame for them getting to the Super Bowl because I picked them each game. So I think I'm the reason they're in the Super Bowl. So I'm not picking the Seahawks. And we can't have this. We can't have the Patriots winning another Super Bowl. And now Sam Darnold is our only hope. Sam Darnold and the power of friendship's our hope. And they've been great all year.
The Seahawks are better.
This is why friendship always prevails. Because the 2025 Seattle Seahawks are the power of friendship.
I don't agree. They're a really good team.
I'm just trying to be funny.
The Patriots are the power of friendship team because Drake May threw for 82 yards.
I thought it was 86.
I'm sorry. 86 yards. He completed less than half his throws, and they beat Jarrett Stidham. The Patriots are the power of friendship team. Honestly, on paper, the Seahawks should roll them.
They're much better.
Yeah.
They're much better. I'm saying power of friendship because it's a Sam Darnold-led team, and they kind of came out of nowhere. The Patriots also came out of nowhere, but I feel like with Vrabel, that was more expected. But anyways, if I'm not going to say that Bo Nix, because they obviously would have won with Bo Nix. Yeah. But if Jarrett Stidham just took that sack, they probably would have still won. Their offense, instead of when he threw the ball, he was trying to get the ball off and it was a fumble and then they set it up with it was ridiculous. Also, it probably should have been a defensive touchdown. I don't know why they took it back, but it doesn't matter. Either way, they scored. And that last field goal was tipped and blocked by I forgot the player's name, but he was pulled up from the practice squad the day before. So props to him. Let's give him some claps.
You know what? No, let's not just give him props. Let's find out who it was.
Yeah, that's
because I remember that too.
Yeah.
Let's 2025 Patriots. We'll find this out right now. Keep going.
But this game is a perfect example of why coaches should take the points in pretty much every situation before halftime. You have your backup quarterback again, and you're going against a good team, and you could just get through. You have a good kicker, and you should just you have to take the points.
Well, Leonard Taylor. He has 5 solo tackles to his name in his career, and he blocked that field goal.
Good for you, buddy. But yeah, because playing aggressive is kind of the new thing, and I get it. But Sean Payton, you've been in the game so long. I think he's been a head coach. Has he been? I don't remember if he's been a head coach since like 04 or 06. Like I don't remember if the year, because in 2006 the Saints were the 2 seed and they made it to the conference championship.
06 was his first year.
06 was his first year. Okay, so been a head coach since 06. I think he should have known better. He has his backup quarterback. And I see some people defending it and saying, Jarrett Stidham was playing well. He had 2 good passes.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
say
at that
good
point.
As a collective.
Yeah, I've seen some people say, well, he was, Jarrett Stidham, he was controlling the game really well. He had 2 good passes. I think both of the catches were to Sutton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did Sutton catch the first deep ball?
That's what I was saying. I think it was Sutton, and then it was the touchdown was the follow-up.
Yeah, real quick, Sutton caught the touchdown. No, it was Marvin Mims.
It was Marvin Mims.
The 52-yard throw. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but he completed 2 passes. You got your backup. And they could not establish a run game from the very beginning. It was very clear that the run game wasn't working out.
Since Dobbins got hurt, Denver hasn't run the ball that well.
Yeah, they really missed Dobbins. They really could have used them back, and they just should have taken the points because the Patriots offense in that fourth quarter they were, and of course this is you can't exactly predict this, but the wind was blowing in the Patriots offense direction on top of them not playing well all game. The second, and I knew they weren't going to get that first down, by the way. When it was 4th and 1, I just had to go, like how you were like, oh, Tyler Loop's going to miss it. Yeah, I was just like, he's not going to get this. I was like, it's Jarrett Stidham and like in a split backfield of 2 okay backs. They're not going to get this. They're not going to get this first down, and they didn't. And I was like, they just lost the game.
And why? Wasn't it a pass?
That's how I felt. It was a pass. Throw?
Yeah. Why? Why are you throwing the ball?
But that's the thing. Sean tried, or not. Well, sorry. What's the offensive coordinator's name? Of course, Sean approved it all. But
Jim Lombardi, who just got fired.
Yeah, he got fired today. You're right. He got fired today.
Why are you throwing the ball?
They were trying to throw them off. They tried too many kind of tricky plays. I feel like
you can't throw Vrabel off guard.
No, you can't.
Do that to Vrabel.
He's too good of a coach. And I want to get to the rosters after this. To me, Christian Gonzalez is the only defensive player that I think is like really good. But they have a solid, well-rounded team. They have a good, they're well coached. They have a good defense. You're not going to throw off Vrabel. You're not going to throw off Vrabel like that. You're not going to trick him with. I don't know if they did a flea flicker, but like flea flicker type plays or like lateral crap.
Trying to
like
be
that's
cute,
just, that's not going to work.
4th and 1, and you have I know the run game wasn't humming. You have a great offensive line, and you need 1 yard.
Yeah, you need a yard.
If you're going to go for it, which I'll get to that in a second. If you're going to go for it, why are you throwing the ball at Stidham?
Yeah,
let's Stidham run. Do like a bootleg or something, or try the tush push. You have a great offensive line. No wonder you got fired.
Yeah. Seriously. And they run, they're a fullback off it. I think they use fullbacks a decent amount. Just throw your fullback and get a yard.
If you're going to go for it.
If you're going to go for it.
I agree. They should have kicked it.
They should have kicked it. Because in this situation, you have to trust your defense.
Yes.
Okay. And I know people were like, "Oh, parallel cosmic power." Nick Foles. Nick Foles was at least at some point a starting Pro Bowl quarterback. At least
who was really good at one point.
Yeah,
27 touchdowns and 2 picks. Yeah. Like he was really good.
2013, I think he led the league in passer rating. He was a Pro Bowler. He had that's a good bet. We'll get to that. A decade ago, the Pro Bowl was at least a little, but it hasn't been good for a while. But you know what I mean? It's like a badge of honor at some. Now it's not. We'll get to that.
Not anymore.
But Jarrett Stidham hadn't played since 2023.
Yeah, and it's not like he was great.
Also, I'm not trying to bash Stidham right now. He did his job. He tried to do his job.
Yeah, and you can't expect him to be thrown into the fire against a great defense who has I don't know who on the Patriots staff was on the 2019 team, but Stidham was a Patriot. So I don't know how much that matters. I don't know if any of the staff are on the current Patriots team. Obviously, Vrabel wasn't there, as far as I know.
Yeah, but the defense, you don't know.
Yeah, Vrabel was in Tennessee already. So but you can't expect that out of your backup quarterback. But I do want to touch on what you said about kicking it.
Yeah.
I do think it depends on the situation. In that situation where it's a low-scoring defensive game, they should have kicked it. But we'll get to Rams Seahawks when we get to it. But that's an instance where I get why they went for it. So I do think they should have kicked it because it was a low-scoring defensive game where you have to win slowly and methodically. So I don't think they should have kicked it because it was the end of the half. I think they should have kicked it because the final score was 10-7, and you knew it was going to be a sloppy, low-scoring game.
Yeah, exactly. The Patriots were not – because, people – I see a lot of Patriots fans saying, the Patriots are the first team to beat 3 top 5 defenses in a playoff run. They played a depleted Chargers offensive line, and it was the defense doing a lot of the work. The offense wasn't particularly good.
And Herbert wasn't good either.
And Herbert wasn't playing well. They would have I don't care. If Davis Mills was playing, I genuinely think the Texans would have beaten the Patriots.
I think if Houston just protected the ball, I think they win. Straight up.
Yeah.
That's why I don't feel bad about picking Houston to go far. I had them making the championship. I thought Stroud could be like C+. I'm not expecting Stroud to be, freaking Stafford in the Super Bowl. I'm expecting Stroud to be competent. I think they would have won. So
I didn't pick them because of the Texans Chargers game, because I saw CJ. CJ Stroud did not play well against the Chargers, and I'm like, well, if he goes up against any well-coached team in the playoffs, I could see this, because I think he had 2 or 3 picks. He had a bunch of turnovers that game. I don't remember.
I think he fumbled 4 times.
Yeah, he played really poorly.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Stroud against the Chargers.
Oh, okay.
From the regular season. I'm saying that's why I didn't pick the Texans to go that far. And then they beat the backup quarterback of the Broncos by 3 points.
10-7.
Like 10-7. They should have. But back to, because of course, like the Giants offense pre-Dart was like incapable of
you're
anything.
A Giants fan? You're not a Falcons fan? Based on the Kyle Pitts flag?
He's just a legend. He's just great. But But the Giant, and of course the Giants are bad, but I feel like I've seen I've seen the Lions get into this situation a bunch, and under Ben Johnson, the Bears have kind of been in this situation a decent amount of times. And what happened with the Broncos is kind of another example of that.
Keep going for it.
They're in the lead, and they don't take the points and just keep extending the lead with. Of course, a field goal isn't guaranteed, but 3 points but a field goal is probably higher. I don't know the stats of it. A field goal is probably higher percentage than converting on 4th down.
It depends on the kicker. The Bears should have kicked more field goals because Shedeur Sanders is a good kicker. But like, people killed Dan Campbell for going for it against San Francisco a couple years ago. The Lions kicker was Michael Badgley, who was below replacement level. The odds of him making the field goal was actually less likely than them converting like a 4th and 3. So it does, but Santos is a very good kicker, and Ben Johnson should have kicked more field goals.
Yeah. So when you're leading, especially when you're leading, the Broncos were up a touchdown. You then put yourself in a position where you're not extending your lead, especially with the backup quarterback. So then, and we've seen this with the Lions, and we've seen this with the Bears, and we now see this. We saw this with the Broncos, and the Broncos didn't fall for what I'm about to say. I'm just talking more about in general. You then usually put your offense in the position where you have to keep going for it if the other team's offense is matching you. So that I will always be a believer that before halftime, and maybe in a lot of instances in the third quarter, you should just keep kicking field goals when you can, unless you're especially if you're leading. If you're leading, you should just be kicking field goals on 4th down, in my opinion.
Especially if you keep getting into field goal range.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. If you have a good kicker too, because what's the Broncos kicker's name? I forgot his name. Lutz, yeah. He did have that one missed field goal, but that first 4th and 1, the weather was fine.
Mm-hmm.
The weather was fine at that
kick.
point. Yeah. No, I meant when they didn't go for the field goal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It would
have been like 30 yards or something.
Yeah, it was like a 30.
It would have been
it was a 30-something yard field goal. And, they lost. Of course, anything could have happened. Drake May could have thrown a dot, this yada yada, but they lost. They lost by 3 points. So, yeah, this is less of a Patriots ramp because I have to give props to the Patriots. Super Bowl run really turned it around with Vrabel. Did they have a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse schedule? Maybe.
Yes. Not maybe. Yes.
No, they did.
I need to find something. Hold on. I saw something on the Patriots schedule that kind of talked about it. Let me find something real quick. It went week by week. It went week by week.
But
where the heck is it? You ready? All right, listen to this. Patriots schedule. This is week 1 through 18. You ready for this? Fired coach, fired coach, fired coach, NFC South, fired coach, NFC South, fired coach, fired coach, fired coach, NFC South, Jets, Bengals, fired coach, fired coach, fired coach, Jets, fired coach. Call a spade, people. You only play who's in front of you. The Patriots beat who they were supposed to beat. It's a Mickey Mouse run. Both things can be true. It's not the Patriots' fault that they had a weak schedule, but they had a weak schedule. And honestly, that carried over in the playoffs to a certain degree.
It did.
They got good matchups.
Yeah, I don't think they would have beaten the Jags.
No.
I don't think they would have beaten the Jags. I almost even at home, I don't know if they would have beaten the Bills.
I think Buffalo would have rolled them over. I honestly think it wouldn't have been close.
I also think with Knicks, the Broncos would have won.
Yes.
Because Stidham almost beat them.
They needed I know I'm not calling Knicks like the next Messiah. You think Knicks couldn't have gotten 13 points?
Easily.
Knicks could have gotten 13, 14, 17 points. 100%.
Honestly, Knicks turned it up. I've liked what I've seen from Knicks.
Like I said, Bo Lever right here. Always been the Broncos guy. Don't tell any Broncos fan otherwise.
Oh yeah, no, you never said a bad word about Bo Nix. But what was I gonna say? But and I know I talked about it last week. That play that he got hurt on was so boneheaded. They just shouldn't have run that. Why do you do a quarterback draw on your
last
hindsight
to a
drive?
It is to a degree, but
it is. But you've gotta. Yeah, but you've got to look at, who's calling the plays and be like, what the hell, man? Just run it up the middle. They lost yards. They lost yards on the play.
Well, Lombardi's out, so
they did their job.
You got what you wanted. He's fired. But I think. But that's enough on that. Obviously, Denver would have won with the Knicks. I don't know what this means for them in the future because I don't know if they're going to get these kind of circumstances again. But that's still a great team. The Broncos.
Oh, the Broncos.
I think they'll be in the mix next year. I don't think they're going to be the 1 seed again. I don't even know if they'll win the division again, but they'll be in the mix next year. But yeah, obviously gutted for Broncos fans because this felt like a special year, and without Knicks, it was taken away. And for the Patriots, we'll get to our Super Bowl picks later, but they made it there. But let's pivot to the game that was actually good. Okay.
Yes.
Because one game was just awful. I said it the whole game. I was like, this game stinks. But then we got to Rams Seahawks, and that game felt like the Super Bowl. It did. Those were the two best teams left. And it's McVay and McDonald. It's Stafford and Darnold, who's turned the corner. Obviously, he's really good. The big knock on him was, in big games. That was the biggest game of his life, and he was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's JSN and Puka Nacua. Kenneth Walker's great. The Rams have so many young, talented pieces on defense. They made Emmanuel Forbes look good after he was a bust in Washington. That was such a good game of football, and I kind of feel bad. I wish those two teams could just play again in 2 weeks, and that can be the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or if we could, because those are obviously the two best teams. But this game also had a controversy of should you take the points or should you go for it? The Rams were down 4 with 4 minutes left.
Yeah, it was 4 minutes.
With a 4th and manageable in the red zone. And I see people hounding McVay for not taking the field goal. Let me tell you something. I cannot remember the last time I was as surprised watching something as when the Seattle stopped the Rams on that fourth down. I was 100,000% convinced the Rams were scoring on that drive. They were getting 6 points. I did too. Stafford was dealing. He broke a sack on 4th and 1 and ran for the touchdown. He never not a touchdown. Ran for the first down. That never happens. Stafford never runs ever. And it was a situation where it felt like something was in the air. And I'm like, the Rams are scoring. Just go for it. Someone will be open. Puka Nacua will get open, or Devontae Adams will get open. I was like floored that Seattle got the stop. But that is a championship defense. That is a defense.
It is.
Other than Tariq Woolen, which count your lucky stars. That is a defense with championship DNA, because Stafford, I don't think he had anyone to throw to. Like, no, the throw he attempted was beautifully covered. Nick, I hope I pronounced this right. Nick Amonwari has been a fantastic piece on that defense. They have so many guys that know their role, and I'm baffled that people think the Rams should have kicked the field goal to make it a 1-point game. Am I right? 1 point
in that? Yeah, because it was 31-27.
Dan, we made fun of Dan Quinn for years for being in the same situation, down 4, like 3 minutes left or something. It was a little less than 4. And they kicked the field goal to make it 17-16, and they never got the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
We fry Dan Quinn for that, for making that decision with, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones against a bad 49ers team. And now McVay and the Rams with Stafford and Puka Nacua and Devontae are in the same situation, and people think they should have kicked the field goal. I want to congratulate the armchair head coaches who would have kicked the field goal. You lost 31-30, and you gave yourself no chance to win.
Yeah.
Seattle converted. I think up to that point, they were 6 of 11 on 3rd down, which is insane efficiency on 3rd. So I don't know. That was my only real gripe with that game. That was an amazing game of football. I'm baffled that people think the Rams should have kicked a field goal.
Yeah, it's a hard. To me, I get the, the idea behind it, but the Rams defense has not been what it was earlier this year.
They have a bad
defense.
Been
bad. Yeah.
Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, it's regressed a lot. And, you got an elite offense. You have the MVP. I don't care what anybody says. Stafford's MVP this year. You have minimum the second best receiver. You could make an argument that Puka's the best. I now feel like JSN edged him out a little. Like, I feel like JSN is number one.
Chase is still in that conversation.
Yeah, true.
I think it's JSN, Puka, and Chase is the top 3. I think Jefferson has to drop a little.
They're essentially tied for first. And Devontae Adams, he's a crazy red zone threat. You have Kyron Williams. You have a good offensive line. You have some good tight ends. Parkinson turned it up this season. Good for him. And
brutal drop though.
But you have to put faith in that, because if you kick a field goal, you're down. And it was a long drive.
Yes,
it was a long drive. They were really close. They were in the red zone, and if you take the field goal there, you got to put it back into the hands of your defense, who have not been reliable.
That Carolina tore you up. Like, come on now.
So I think in theory, the going for it was the correct call.
And I mean, I give the Rams credit for making it this far. I know they were a really good team, and they were picked by many to go to the Super Bowl, but they had to play.
I picked them, yeah.
That was the only game in the entire playoffs you got wrong, by the way. I think your bracket otherwise was perfect. Am I?
Or did we the Jags?
Jacksonville. Okay, well, I guess you missed Jacksonville.
But I had them losing. I had
right.
We both have a pick in the Super Bowl. You picked the Seahawks. I picked the Patriots.
My NFC bracket was perfect all the way. But don't look at the AFC. Just don't look what happened.
Overall, mine was more accurate, but fair. But
because your miss didn't bite you as hard as mine did, your Jacksonville miss. But they had to go into Carolina, won that game by a hair. Then they go into Chicago, won that game in overtime. And then they took Seattle to the limit, who Seattle was healthier. Or I think they were healthier. That might not be the right word. They were more well-rested, and they were at home. And they had gotten the better of you last time.
Yeah.
And I would argue have a more complete roster. And honestly, the Rams were that close. I mean, you're a fourth down conversion away from possibly winning it, or maybe sending it to overtime if Seattle had done something differently on their clock killing drive and gotten a field goal or something. So it definitely could have been different. And I don't know. There are teams that we should make fun of for blowing it this year. I'm not really gonna make fun of the Rams. I think their title hopes were lost when they lost to Seattle earlier in the year on Thursday night when Darnold hit Saubert. For the 2 I think that is when, in spirit, the Rams' Super Bowl hopes were dashed, because asking them to go on the road 3 weeks in a row against a rested opponent in the NFC Championship with a coach as good as Mike Macdonald is such a tall task. So I won't.
I picked them, but I had faith that with Adams back, and especially because I thought the Carolina game was, of course, the Rams won. I thought it was going to be a lot more one-sided because they had lost to them earlier in the year, and I was trusting McVay to make the adjustments. But once I saw that game, I was like kind of iffy.
Down.
And then once after the divisional round, I was like, Seattle's going to win the NFC. That's what I thought.
So that about does it on the conference championships. It is a rematch of the Super Bowl from 11 years ago, Patriots and Seahawks. The Seahawks have a chance to rectify the worst moment in franchise history. I'm sure they'll be favorites. I don't know about you. I'm picking the Seahawks to win by 2 touchdowns. Might be extreme. 2 possessions is what I'm going to say.
2 possessions.
I think New England's offense of obviously Drake May, who was great during the regular season, this postseason, let's call it what it is, hasn't been all that great. It's been more about the Patriots defense. And I just think the Patriots have an offense with coaching. Vrabel's a great coach. Offensively, I don't think he can hold a candle to Macdonald. Like, Vrabel's offense versus Macdonald's defense feels like a total mismatch, because the Patriots were in hell in the trenches against all 3 teams they played. I know it's the Broncos, Texans, and Chargers who have good defensive fronts, but all 3 of those teams bullied you in pass protection, honestly.
Yeah.
So I expect Seattle to do the same. Seattle is healthier than Denver. They have better quarterback play than Denver and Houston. And honestly, given the postseason, the Chargers too.
Chargers, yeah. 100%.
I think the New England's defense will give Darnold and the Seahawks a couple of problems. But overall, I think that Seattle defense will do so much. And I think the JSNs of the world and the Kenneth Walkers can do enough to put some ground. And I think a couple of sack fumbles against that new Drake man, that New England offensive line could be all it takes.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so. Going back to what I was saying before about, in my opinion, Christian Gonzalez being the only kind of elite level player on that Patriots defense. Correct me if you think there's other guys who you think are on that level, but I can't think of a name that really. I was going over the roster again today, and I was like, Gonzalez. So Gonzalez is obviously going to be on JSN. That Seahawks, Cooper Kupp shows he still has it. He still has it. Rashid, he's a good deep threat. Kenneth Walker, and who's the third? I forgot the third string guy's name, but he had a pretty decent game for what the Seahawks required of him.
Oh, for Seattle.
Yeah,
the white dude.
Whoever the other running back was.
Oh, the running back. Oh, I didn't think he had a good game at all. What is his name?
No, I was saying he didn't. I didn't say he had a great game. I'm saying he did kind of what they needed him to do for their RB2. Walker did most of the work.
I don't think
But
I agree, but we'll.
did
It
I did he have
is
did he do
George
something?
Halani. George Halani.
George Halani. Barner's a good tight end, and Darnold's been playing great. So I think their best player is going to be on the Seahawks' best offensive player, and I think JSN is a tier as a receiver is a tier above how Gonzalez is as a corner.
Yeah,
Not taking away from Gonzalez, he was all pro last year.
and he's
He's a
great.
great corner. He's a great corner, but they have so many other threats that I could see them as long as Darnold's a game manager. I could see them overwhelming the Patriots defense at times. And I don't like picking exact scores for games. I never have. I just because of how because I do trust variable. May was great this year. I am still going to assume it's going to be a close game. But the Seahawks defense, they're just so well rounded. You look at that line, those linebackers, like Woolen had the stupid play, but
Witherspoon's great.
Yeah, Witherspoon's great. He's a good corner. Jones is a good linebacker. They have a great defensive line. Leonard Williams turned it up this year.
Byron Murphy's good.
Yeah, Brian Murphy. DeMarcus Lawrence showed he still had it.
Ernest Jones, 126 tackles.
Yeah, he had a great year. So I think the Seahawks are gonna win. I picked the Patriots all the way. I was 100% on Patriots picks. Well, I picked them all the way to the Super Bowl. I had the Rams beating them, but I'm now picking the Seahawks because they're I think they're the better team.
Give me 27-16. I think
27-16.
I think New England will have possessions where they're able to move the ball. Maybe Diggs can make a couple plays happen. Maybe Travion Henderson can break off a run or two. But I think Seattle can keep them out of the end zone a lot and make New England settle for field goals. JSN's going to run around. I think Kenneth Walker's going to run around. I think Kupp could be a big problem. Marcus Jones is pretty good on the Patriots too, but I think Kupp could cause problems. Dog
alert.
Yeah, I think Seattle will win more battles in the trenches than New England as well, especially Seattle's defense against New England's offense. So we're definitely leaning Seattle. I don't know. I think you said you wanted to give a score. You just said you don't like giving scores. I think 27-16.
Yeah,
you're not going to.
No,
it's a Super Bowl. Come on, it's a Super Bowl. Come on.
I'm gonna
just blur out a number.
I'm going to do Seattle 28, Patriots 24. We're going to go the scores of Super Bowl 49, but opposite.
Is Kenneth Walker going to score the game-winning touchdown from a yard out?
He is.
After a crazy catch by not JSN, we'll go Kupp.
We'll go Kupp. He catches it off his thighs.
Yeah. Tom Brady secretly is like, even though it doesn't.
It was so funny. You know how Julian Edelman and Gronk have a podcast? It's actually really funny.
It is. They talk about or are you thinking of Edelman and Gronk? Because Edelman does like the old games.
Did I not say Edelman and Gronk?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, Edelman and Gronk. Yeah, they have a funny podcast. I saw an Instagram reel today of them talking about Earl Thomas and how they said he was like a torpedo. And Gronk said that he and I didn't realize he missed a Super Bowl, but he was saying he missed a Super Bowl
Gronk
because
he missed the Falcons one.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because then that was Martellus Bennett that did stuff, right? Yeah, but they were calling because Earl, and he was saying Earl Thomas ended his season, and that clip was posted either yesterday or today, and the top comment on the reel was Earl Thomas, and he just goes Seahawks. Seahawks. I'm like, that's epic.
Yeah. Well,
he kind of went off the rails, right?
Oh yeah, he came here to Baltimore. Was an all-pro, and then it became the running joke. Derrick Henry turned him into a lead blocker in the playoff game. I was at a Dick's Wings watching that. That wasn't fun. And then they kicked us all out at 9 p.m. because they had to close. So I missed like the start of the second half, and I watched them get their faces kicked in by Henry, and then Derrick Henry went off the not Derrick Henry, Earl Thomas went off the rails, got into a fight. He didn't show up to practice. I think he was washing his car, and he got cut, and he never played again.
Yeah.
What a guy. All right, and with that out of the way, let's go ahead and pivot to some more lighthearted news. The Pro Bowl rosters, came out a while ago, and we're at the point to where they have to start adding some alternates because all the good players are telling them no. And the great rookie 5th-round pick, Shedeur Sanders of the Cleveland Browns, was added as a Pro Bowl alternate. That is right, the rookie with, I believe, 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, who completed 56% of his throws, is a Pro Bowler. And why don't you go ahead and read off some of the names that he got in over?
It's ridiculous. The Pro Bowl is such a joke at this point. And this is nothing against Shedeur. I want Shedeur to do well. I'm not one of those guys that just like blindly dislikes him. I think that's stupid. But he doesn't deserve a Pro Bowl spot. First of all, if we were going to go rookie quarterbacks, why not go Cam Ward? Cam, and especially over the season, he over the course of the year, he got better. He had over double the amount of passing yards that Shedeur had. He had more than double the touchdowns, and he had 3 less picks. And I hear people saying, "Oh, but Shedeur only played half the games. You can't judge that." Well, okay, are we gonna judge people who only played 8 games like Shedeur Sanders? What about Joe Burrow, who had 400 more passing yards, he had 10 more touchdowns than Shedeur, and he had half the interceptions. And why isn't Trevor Lawrence there? He was an MVP nominee. That makes no sense. Yeah.
Trevor was great. It makes
no sense. Yeah, Trevor had a good year. It makes no sense.
Let's pull up his numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly,
it's just,
I don't care about it as much as you do because we all know the Pro Bowl is outrageous.
It's a joke.
It's stupid. It's been stupid for a decade. There's a reason they don't play the game anymore. Like no one's ever taken. Trevor Lawrence completed 60.9% of his throws. He threw for about 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 12 picks. Passer rating of wait for it. He had a passer rating of 91, which honestly still isn't amazing, but that's way.
Shedeur had 56.6 or whatever.
Shedeur Sanders.
It makes no sense, and but like why wasn't Bo Nix or what he was? Of course, he was injured, but you could argue that
doesn't matter.
He should have
voted him in. Yeah.
Yeah, you could still.
He played the whole regular season.
But I don't think he could be considered an alternate. Is the thing because he's hurt.
Play. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he can't play.
Same with Mahomes.
Yeah, I would have put Rodgers in front of him, but I think Rodgers wouldn't have gone anyways because he's doing like an ayahuasca retreat right now. He's going to take a bunch of Benadryl in a dark room or something for 4 days and not leave, which is true. Look it up. He's actually doing that.
Lamar should have been ahead of him too, but it's cool.
Yeah, Lamar should have been ahead of him. I'd even put Flacco ahead of him.
Hey, that's my guy. All right, watch it.
Like honestly, no, I'm saying Flacco should have.
That's my guy.
Should
Joe.
have been.
Okay.
Yeah,
Super Bowl MVP.
Joe had 1,000 more passing yards than Shedeur. He had 8 more touchdowns, and he had the same amount of picks. It just doesn't.
Fifth round pick.
It just doesn't make sense. And I saw it was like the first 5th round rookie quarterback to ever make the Pro Bowl, and it's like he made the Pro Bowl because of nepotism. I love the shame.
He made the Pro Bowl because they just kept going down the list, and they omitted several more deserving names. Yeah,
and did how Shane Gillis did the ESPYs, and I just saw him this past weekend. He was funny. He was funny live. He was saying, Shedeur Sanders, Colorado retired his number, and people are saying it's because of nepotism, and it's not. It's because he went 13-12 as a starter and almost won the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, that is what it was. I'm not really in the party of bashing Shedeur either. I think the discourse around him is we're reaching Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese levels of toxicity here when it comes to discourse around his play, and you cannot deny that he wasn't good, straight up. Now, how much of that is because of the Cleveland Browns and a coach has just got fired, and a horrible offensive line, and a Jared Judy who made your worst teams draft, right? Some of that is the Browns being bad. I don't think it's all on Sanders, but he wasn't good straight up as a even for a 5th round rookie, didn't look good at all. And I am for how do I put this? I am for earning what you're worth, and I really don't like it when I feel like pity isn't the right word, but something that will stir up attention, if that makes any sense. Like I do think part of it, of him making the Pro Bowl, is because people obviously know the name because of him in college with his dad. And so I guess nepotism is a part of it. I'm not going to freak out over Shedeur Sanders being a Nepo baby. Nepotism is everywhere in sports. I mean, coaching, ownership, broadcasting, the front office. Players, it's not that common. I mean, you have LeBron's son, who honestly for a 2nd round pick is honestly fine. And then you have Shedeur Sanders, who hasn't been very good. But ultimately, if you can't play, you can't play. It doesn't matter what your name is. So that's why I think nepotism is least common amongst players. But obviously him being in the Pro Bowl is ridiculous. And anybody, if there's ever a discourse around Shedeur Sanders on national TV, and I hear someone say with a straight face, he made the Pro Bowl. You change the channel. Like you flip to something else. You go to NFL Network or something if you want your football fix. So what was it? It was Ward. He shouldn't have made it over Ward. He shouldn't have made it over Trevor or Burrow or Rodgers or Lamar or maybe even Flacco. Like
no, it's
Dylan Gabriel had better stats. Like sorry.
Juwan Jennings had a better passer rating.
Yeah, that's your guy. He'll be a Raven in due time. But that's kind of it on Pro Bowler Shedeur Sanders. You better say it with your chest next time whenever he comes up.
Yeah, and here's the thing, because I know the Pro Bowl is a joke. It's been a joke for a long time, but I still like seeing deserving players get recognized and get a little honor, a little badge of like, oh, you had a good season, And to me, it's just dumb at this point. It's just nothing. They don't even call it because I think they used to call the game the Pro Bowl. They don't even call it the Pro Bowl anymore.
Well, they don't play the Pro Bowl anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's a flag football game. There is no Pro Bowl.
No, they play like dodgeball and golf or whatever. They have like their games. Of course, they should keep doing the reward as it can still be kind of a badge of honor or whatever. You had a good season, add it to your resume. But I mean, I'm not as fired up about it as you are, because we all know the Pro Bowl's stupid. It's been stupid. I don't think the Pro Bowl has been worth anything since Sean Taylor laid out the punter from Buffalo. A clip that everyone has seen. And, obviously I'm not going to blame players for not risking their Achilles in a game that doesn't mean anything. But there's a reason I would argue the only all-star game that is any good is baseball. The Pro Bowl is obviously a joke. The NBA All-Star game is a complete disgrace. Hockey All-Star was actually interesting because they got rid of the All-Star game and replaced it with the Four Nations Face-Off, which was electric. And I actually think the Baseball Hall of Fame, the baseball All-Star game does more things right than the other leagues. And weirdly enough, I think some of that is because it is entirely fan voted. In the Pro Bowl, I believe it's 1/3 players, 1/3 coaches, 1/3 fans.
Yeah, it is.
That gets to the whole like athletes being on these talk shows that you don't automatically know more. You're not automatically a better debater or an analyst because you played, and sometimes that shows. I don't know how many fans voted for Shedeur Sanders. I can't imagine it's many, or maybe it is. But how many of those are players who like him?
Yeah,
I think players around the league are really rooting for Shedeur Sanders because of some of the backlash he's received, which in a lot of people's eyes is just him trying to play football. And to a certain extent, it's true. And like he plays for a division rival of the team I root for. I'm kind of rooting for him. I think it'd be a great story. I think star Shedeur Sanders would be great for football. I think that would be.
Yeah, I don't want him to do.
That'd be an excellent story.
I don't want him to do.
Yeah, we don't hate him.
Poorly. Yeah, he just shouldn't have made the Pro Bowl over a guy who got nominated for the MVP. Yeah.
It's outrageous, but
yeah.
We'll go ahead and shift gears.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing we're going to talk about is something that actually happened only a few hours ago, as of us recording this. It was announced that Bill Belichick, who won 8 Super Bowls, count them 8, 6 as head coach of the New England Patriots, and 2 as a defensive coordinator of the New York Giants, is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is one that might be worse than any omission in the notoriously terrible Baseball Hall of Fame. Which one day the time will come for us to rant about how stupid the Baseball Hall of Fame is. That time's not really today. But Belichick not being a first ballot inductee would be like if Barry Bonds never did steroids or anything. It was all natural and he still wasn't first ballot. I actually think that's the equivalent. Like, imagine if Barry Bonds never did steroids and there wasn't such a big stand on it. I know he has cheating I know he has cheating scandals. I think Deflategate is complete nonsense.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I say that as a fan of a team that fell to the Patriots in that playoff run. I don't buy into it whatsoever, and I don't know much about. I know Spygate was a big deal when it happened. I was like 4 years old when it all played out, so I don't really know any better.
Yeah, but that was like 2007. That was 2008. That was a long time ago.
I understand we all agree that Brady gets more of the credit for the Patriots dynasty, winning 6 Super Bowls. Obviously, they went their separate ways. Brady went like this, and Belichick went like that. So I understand it. But if Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Fame head coach, then who is?
Yeah,
because Bill Walsh only won 4. Lombardi, I don't know how many he won 3 championships in a row with the Packers, including the first 2 Super Bowls. I don't think he has 8 championships. He has 8.
Yeah.
Belichick.
Nobody has 8.
Who are some of the other? Bud Grant has 0. I believe he got it. Parcells has 2. One of which was with Belichick as defensive coordinator.
Yeah. I thought both of them. Or no, he was a different kind. He was defensive coordinator for the Bills one. He may have been in a different defensive coach role for the 86 year.
Let's find out.
Yeah, just look it up.
Let's find out now.
He was part of both teams, though.
He was on both teams. He was defensive coordinator for both.
He was. Okay, yeah. So, he was the defensive coordinator.
Joe Gibbs has 3.
Who's
Chuck Noll has 4.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was
who holds the candle?
Who was the Dolphin? Shula has only has 2. He has 2.
Because he was on the Baltimore Colts. But
was he?
He was let go after I believe he was let go the year after they were upset by the Jets in '68.
Okay.
Shula coached the '68 Colts. Yeah, then he left to join Miami. So Shula has 2. Like
Jimmy Johnson has 2.
Jimmy Johnson has 2. I don't know if we've been like deluded to how much 8 Super Bowls are. Like
it's the most out of anybody.
Don Shula times 4.
That's the most out of anybody.
If Belichick's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, no one is.
It doesn't make any sense.
And this goes back to what I said in the last episode when I ranted about the Bills being whiners and losers. One of the loudest, according to sources, one of the loudest voices of this whole Belichick should wait a year is Bill Polian. You'll never guess what team Bill Polian was the GM for. Back in the day, back in the 90s. Guess who?
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo. And guess what team? And guess who was the defensive coordinator of the Giants team that beat him?
Bill Belichick. And guess who ran the division for 20 years and embarrassed his franchise after he was gone?
And guess who embarrassed Polian when he ran the Colts? Bill Belichick. Are we serious? Like, are we serious? This is worse than Shedeur making the Pro Bowl. Shedeur making the Pro Bowl is dumb, but like whatever. This is an insult. This is worse than when T.O. wasn't first ballot, which was ridiculous too.
There was actually just a tweet from I wanted to bring this up. Matt Verderame? How do you say that last name? Are you familiar with this reporter, Verderame? Matt Verderame, but
I'm not familiar. Verderame sounds right.
Yeah. Okay. He tweeted, I just spoke on the phone with Bill Polian and asked whether he was an influence on Bill Belichick being snubbed by the Hall of Fame. And this is his quote. "That's totally and categorically untrue. I voted for him."
Oh.
So that's what Bill said. but the early reports were saying Bill was vocal about him not getting in. So it's kind of like, who do we believe? Because he could just be lying through his teeth too.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I don't really, and I've noticed in a lot of these episodes, I kind of go neutral on a lot of things. I don't really want to take a side on this because the guy himself said, because Bill himself said he voted for Belichick, but then I guess other inside sources say he was kind of whispering in other people's ears not to do it. So it's kind of like, who do you believe?
That's interesting. That would be a big brain move if Polian voted for him, push enough people to not vote for him so we could play the both sides thing. Bill Polian's 83. You think he has that in him? That's a great conspiracy.
Maybe.
Polian voted for him, but deep down he hopes he doesn't make it. And he's going to convince everyone to not vote for him. So if it comes out, he can say, "I voted for him." That's interesting. Yeah. Where did you see? What was his name?
It's Matt Verderame, VER.
VER.
DER.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this guy. I know who this guy is.
Okay.
That's totally and categorically untrue. I voted for him. I guess the ballots aren't public. They're not public.
No.
Make it public.
Because the baseball ones are. Yeah.
Well, if you want them to be.
Oh, if you want them to be.
The asshole who voted for who didn't vote for Ichiro kept his private. And we'll never know who it was. Who decided to check off Ichiro on his box. Just like when the time comes for Ohtani and some a-hole's not going to check off Ohtani. You know someone is going to do it.
Yeah.
And that person will keep it private. We'll never know who it was. So I want to see that. I could see, obviously I don't know Bill Polian as a person. He does kind of strike me, fellow Ravens fans hate Bill Polian because he was the loud proponent of Lamar Jackson will work in the NFL because he's like 250 pounds or whatever. And when he had his unanimous MVP year, he was the one person who didn't vote him for first team All-Pro. He voted for Russell Wilson. Because remember, Russell Wilson had a great year that year too. But
that
doesn't mean
second team.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he did this with Belichick. I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if Polian is just lying through his teeth. I also wouldn't be shocked if the inside sources were disgruntled or making stuff up. Okay, that is new. I did not hear that. I heard that for the first time. That's categorically untrue. I voted for him. That's definitely interesting. I guess we'll leave it at that, honestly. There's not much to talk about. Obviously, Belichick will probably get in next year, I'm sure.
I'm sure that Spygate and Deflategate had for whoever didn't vote for him, that must have weighed in. But he's also been controversial in the news lately with like his girlfriend and everything. So maybe people were like, not this year. But I don't know. I think in this case, you have to, like, he is the greatest coach of all time on paper. Like
unless you want to go like Lombardi or something.
Yeah, say whatever you want about him post Brady because you can make all the arguments and this and that. The guy, he's the most decorated human in the history of professional football.
And what makes Belichick so impressive is that he innovated a lot. Most coaches don't have a shelf life that long. The game kind of passes them by.
Yeah.
I think the game eventually caught up to Belichick.
Yeah.
But he adapted for like 2 decades.
Yeah.
And he kind of grew with it. And he did have some excellent defenses that helped Brady during the dynasty years. I don't think it's fair to give all the credit for Brady because they split and then Brady won and Belichick didn't. So therefore, I think you can give Brady more than 50%, but Belichick deserves some of that too. And this is what really ticks me off about Hall of Fame voting. And this applies to all sports. There are some people who just believe that no one should be in first ballot. There are people who are like, you should wait a year. Why?
That doesn't make any sense.
Those people strike me as the most egotistical, narcissistic, self-centered. Oh, I think you need to wait a year. I know you're a Hall of Famer, but you should wait it. You should have to give another year. Why do you have to wait a year? Either he is or he isn't. Either he's a Hall of Famer and you check him off, or you don't. Yeah. So what you're going to check off Bill Belichick next year? Will Belichick have been a better coach next year? No.
It doesn't make any sense.
Like,
What, Drew Brees isn't first ballot because you think he has to wait here? It doesn't make any sense. What's the percent? How many votes do you need to get into the NFL Hall of Fame?
There's
get into
50
the Pro
people.
Football.
There's 50 people who vote. You need 40.
You need 40 of 50. Okay.
So he got less than 40. So
that's a lot. That's a lot to vote no for Belichick.
That's 80%.
Yeah.
And I think baseball is 75. I think baseball is 75%, but there's more voters.
Yeah.
And there's so many people. People have different standards. Some think some are more inclusive, some are more strict.
Baseball's a mess. We'll talk about that over the summer.
One of these days. One of these days. We could have talked about it when Bonds and Clemens got snubbed again. And it sounds like it's going to stay that way forever. They're going to have one more crack at it. If they don't get votes again, they're off forever, and that's the end of it. The voting this year was fine. Beltran, Andrew Jones.
Yeah.
If we did this show last year, I'm sure we would have had a lot to say about the one guy who didn't vote for Ichiro. And, that kind of gets to the next point. The voting should all be public. I think it's wrong that people are allowed to keep their ballots hidden. Like, who are the 3 jerks who didn't vote for Ken Griffey Jr.? Like, what are you trying to prove?
Yeah, like how is Rivera? How is Mariano Rivera the first unanimous Hall of Famer?
Respectfully to Rivera, who's easily the greatest closer ever. Like, Rivera, really?
Yeah.
Not Griffey, not Ripken, not Jeter, not Ichiro, like a closer. There's like 8 closers in the Hall of Fame, period.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be surprised how few of them are in the Hall of Fame. And Rivera is indisputably the best ever at it. So I get why he got in.
A lot of closers don't have a long shelf life. Like, a lot of them blow out their arms.
Yeah, that fastball
they just don't have it.
And then
they just don't have it anymore after a while.
I've always been of the proponent that the Football Hall of Fame is the smartest one because baseball is outrageous.
Me too.
Basketball just lets in everybody, which is better than baseball. I'd rather you let in too many people than never let in anyone. But I feel the basketball one lets too many people in, and I thought football was a nice middle ground. But this is worse than when Terrell Owens didn't get in first ballot.
Yeah, this is either. So the only complaints I've had in the past, because the TO one was rough. I think it's ridiculous how Torrey Holt's not in.
Yes,
like Torrey Holt should absolutely be in. Isaac Bruce is in. Why isn't Torrey Holt? And Isaac Bruce is a Hall of Famer. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be in, but Torrey Holt was just as good. He was a great player.
13,300 career yards and 74 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Isaac Bruce. Let's compare him to Bruce. Bruce had 15,091 touchdowns. Bruce made 4 Pro Bowls. Holt made 7. I know we were just complaining about the Pro Bowl, but 7 is.
It meant more back then. It meant more back then.
Yeah, Holt not being in is ridiculous.
We
got our first Jacksonville Jaguar. First Jacksonville Jaguars recent when Baselli got in. I'm sure this year Breeze will get in easily. Gore will get in easily. Fitzgerald will get in easily. And I think Witten will get in. I didn't know Witten had such a prolif. Like, I knew Witten was good. I didn't know he had
he was great.
He had 13,000 yards. I did not know that.
Kuechly's eligible.
He's an interesting one because his career was cut. I say cut short. He voluntarily retired. His career wasn't that long.
I think he should get in.
He was a Hall of Fame talent for sure. Pro Bowler every year. He made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first team All Pros. He's the best middle. He's probably the best middle linebacker of the 2010s.
Yeah, easily. It's like him. It's like him, Patrick Willis, and Bobby Wagner. Those are the top 3.
So I think it'll be Breeze, Gore, Fitzgerald, Witten, Kuechly, and then that might be it. I don't know.
We'll see.
When we can debate Eli Manning, but that could be a whole episode. But that'll cut it off there. And with that being said, it's time for some mini games. We got some shorts to pump out, and this is going to be part of we're going to try to make this part of the podcast this time. It was going to before, but we spent so long just sitting there and not knowing what to say, like doing the worst team draft. So we just cut it out. We're going to try to make this a part of the actual show. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with the fun one. I'm kind of disappointed we haven't done this yet. We're going to play Don't Say the Same Thing as Me. So we have 5 we have 5 categories. It'll get tougher and tougher as the levels progress, and we'll see if we can say something different every time. And it's going to be, some of them will be Super Bowl related because obviously we've got the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks.
Super Bowl.
So let's work our way from 1 to 5. Let's see if we can do this. All right. Don't say the same thing as me. Level 1, name any Super Bowl MVP of the 21st century.
Okay.
All right. I think I know who you're gonna say. I'm gonna not say it.
Okay.
I know it's sneaky when you have in mind. I'm gonna dodge it. All right, you ready?
Okay.
All right. I'll go 3, 2, 1. Then we'll say it. All
Okay.
right. 3, 2, 1. Peyton Manning.
Dexter Jackson.
I knew you were gonna say Dexter Jackson.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it because you thought it was stupid that he got it over Dwight Smith because he had the pick, right? Because they both had two picks.
No, I was arguing that Dexter Jackson's meant more because Dwight's were during garbage time. Yeah, Dwight's were during garbage time, and Dexter set them up for 2 scores early on.
I knew you were gonna say Dexter Jackson. I freaking knew it. All right, level 1 complete. Let's move. All right, level 2. Name any NFC starting quarterback from this season.
From this season,
who is a starter in the NFC?
Starter in the NFC. Okay.
All right, got it.
All right. Wait.
Right, ready?
I'm trying to get one.
I know I'm going to say it. I got it.
Okay.
You're not going to say it.
Okay.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Bryce Young.
Jackson Dart.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Baker.
No.
I thought you were going to say you.
No. Next time.
Man. All right, next time. Okay.
For the next time, you should when I said in the clip, you should put next time and put a picture of Baker next to my face. It should slide in.
You know what? Let's just flip it around. Next one. Name any AFC starting quarterback.
Okay.
Let's see. All right, I got it. All right, you ready?
Got it. Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1. Justin Fields.
Shedeur Sanders.
Of course, you said Shedeur Sanders. All right. We both got we're through 3
He's
levels.
A Pro Bowler.
Yeah, Pro Bowler. Yeah, Pro Bowler. Obviously.
Yeah.
Show some respect. All right. Number 4. We're gonna make it tougher. Name a position on the offensive line.
Ooh.
You got 5 to choose from.
Okay.
All right. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Right tackle.
Left guard.
Let's go.
Okay.
Could we have been any farther apart? If we both said tackle, it would have been kind of close.
Yeah.
Right tackle, left guard. All right. Last one. It needs to be a really tough one. I'm trying to think of one that can be narrowed down to 3. There's only 3. Well, there's only 3 to choose from. Let's see. I got it. All right. Final one. Name any quarterback who has rushed for 1,000 yards in a season.
Oh, there's not that many.
I think we're gonna win because I don't think you know who I'm gonna think of.
I hope not.
3, 2, 1. Justin
Michael
Fields.
Vick. Justin Fields.
Let's go.
When did Justin Fields do that?
I think the year the Bears had the first overall pick and they got Caleb.
Oh, okay.
I think Fields ran for 1,000. He did it though. All right. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have you blind rank 5 Super Bowl champions. I want them to be kind of in recent years, so at least you kind of know what to assess them by. But blind rank it 1 through 5, from obviously 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. You ready? I'm gonna see how you do. All right. Blind rank these Super Bowl champions. Let's kick things off. The 2021 Los Angeles Rams.
2021 Rams. That was a good team. Kupp had probably the best receiving season ever. Their defense was still good then. They had Aaron Donald. Could you cut out Darnold?
Yeah.
They had Aaron Donald. Ramsey was still good. And Eric Weddle came back for the playoffs because their safety got hurt. Remember that? Eric Weddle came out of retirement. Eric Weddle got a ring. I'm going to put them at 3.
All right, playing it safe. Okay.
I'm going to put them at 3. Because they were good, but they weren't like the best we've ever seen. They were a good team though, obviously.
Next up, the 2009 Saints.
2009 Saints. That team was 13-3, and Drew Brees should have won MVP. The Saints, they, besides Michael Thomas, and he wasn't on the team. This isn't what I'm trying to get at. The Saints never had like an elite receiver. Like they never had like a crazy. Yeah, Colston was good, but he wasn't like an All Pro or Pro Bowl level guy. He never got the nod anywhere. But that team was very, well-rounded, very good, 13-3 team. And it was, the league was tough back then. The Vikings were good.
Bountygate?
Uh, yeah, Bountygate, of course. I'm gonna put the 2009 Saints at no, it's hard because they had a better record the the 2021 Rams, but I feel like the Rams had more superstars in comparison, if that makes sense. Like the Saints were just a very well-rounded team because Jonathan Vilma was good, but he was just good. Darren Sharper had a good year. Was Roman Harper on the '09 team? He was.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Roman Harper.
The late Will Smith.
Will Smith, Tracy Porter had a good year. That was his best year probably.
Pick six in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, pick six in the Super Bowl. Reggie Bush was good. Jeremy Shockey.
Oh, he was on that team.
My guy. Yeah, he scored.
Mark Brunell.
Backup. He was the backup. I'm actually going to put the '09 Saints under the Rams. I'm going to put them at 4 because I think that the 2021 Rams, their best players were better than the best players on that Saints team.
Okay. All right, next up, the 2016 New England Patriots.
That was a good team. They were 14-2? They were 14-2. I'm going to put them because that was a very well-rounded team. That was a very well-rounded team. They were, beating everybody. They were Gronkless for a while. Big split backfield. But the 2010s Patriots kind of always ran that backfield. Blunt had a great year actually. That was his 18 touchdown season. The 2016.
Your fantasy flex king.
There we go. Yeah. I'm gonna put that team at 2. That was a good team.
All right. Next up, the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles.
The that was a good team too. That was a very good team.
Nick Foles, LeGarrette Blount again, Alshon Jeffrey, Lane Johnson, Jason Kelce.
Yeah.
Derek Barnett. Brandon Graham.
Their defense was good.
Doug Peterson, the GOAT.
Yeah, Doug Peterson. They had it wasn't Jay Ajayi on that team. Yeah, Jay Ajayi was on that team. Zach Ertz was. So Wentz was having an MVP year that season before he got hurt.
Got hurt against the Rams, yeah.
Yeah, and then Tom Brady ended up being the MVP. And then Foles came in.
Although we all agree that Wentz would have won it if he played the whole season.
Yeah, I think he would have won it.
Yeah.
I feel like the last one you're gonna try to throw me off. I'm gonna put this 2017 Eagles team at 1. That was a good team.
You're just gonna wear it because that's wrong, but you're taking the safe pick.
Why not? Sure.
All right. Well, I think you made the right decision because who you have at number 5 is the 2023 Kansas City Chiefs, who lost 6 games. Had to go they did go into Buffalo, win. They went into Baltimore, win. They won against San Francisco, but that was not a pretty team to watch. So finally, you have, to wrap it up, you have the 2017 Eagles, 2016 Patriots, 21 Rams, 09 Saints, 2023 Chiefs. Not perfect, but you definitely avoided the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
You definitely made the right pick by putting the Eagles at number 1, because your list would have been trash if you had those Chiefs at number 1, because that's the weakest.
Yeah.
I'd argue that Chiefs team is weaker than some of the teams that didn't win the Super Bowl. I think the 2020 team is better, even though the 2020 team didn't win the Super Bowl, which sounds weird, but that's how I view it. Um,
Yeah.
I think you should have put the Patriots should have been number one, and you
Yeah.
probably should have had the. It's hard to say. The Saints were like 13-0. I mean,
Yeah, then they lost. Yeah, then they lost out in the regular season, but I think they had already clinched
not a
at
perfect list, but it's a not a perfect list, but it's a pretty solid list. I think you
yeah.
could have done
The
worse. You avoided
my
catastrophe.
my Rams Saints logic was that I feel like if the two teams went head to head, I liked the Rams defensive matchups against the Saints offense.
Yeah,
That's
it's
how I
hard. It's
was
definitely hard to say. I think McVay's a
that's how
better
I
coach
was.
than Peyton.
And also
There's that
Stafford
too.
had a good the Stafford still had a good year
Yeah,
2021. He threw 35 touchdowns or something.
he's not prime Drew Brees, but he had a good year. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
Drew Brees should have won MVP that year.
Oh yeah, it's
Easily.
ridiculous. Yeah.
100%.
But with that being said, let's move on. We're gonna do two drafts this time. It's Super Bowl week. We got the Seahawks and the Patriots. So let's kick it off with a Seahawks only draft.
Seahawks only draft.
And everyone is in their prime. They have to have played for the Seahawks at some point in their career.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's like they don't even really okay, yeah, they don't even really
Now,
need to do but not so they could have been on the Seahawks but for like a year and they stunk, but if they were good,
yes, they're in their prime.
okay.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something different. To decide who gets to pick first, we're gonna do rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Okay. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, go. And then winner goes first.
I know who the number one pick's gonna be already.
Yeah, exactly. This is who gets to pick first. You ready?
Yes. All right.
All right. I'll do the intro, then you can freaking take your first pick.
Okay.
You basically won already, unless you mess it up. All right.
No, I know who it's gonna be.
Whatever. All right. Let me think of how I should word it. Let me think how I should word it real quick. All right. Draft the best NFL team possible with only players who play for the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay. With my first pick, I'm gonna pick Jerry Rice.
Well, oh my God, I'm already behind the 8 ball with that one.
I think he was there 1 year. I think he was there in like 2000.
He had a nice cup of coffee. He had a nice cup of coffee with Seattle.
It was
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Since
it was
you
04. It was 04. Yeah.
Since you got the best player available, I may as well get the edge of quarterback. Give me prime Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. It's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I am going to fill out my receiving core early on. Give me Steve Largent.
I hate you so much. This jerk picked 2 receivers. You got to be kidding me. Oh my God, that's so gross. Well, now I know I can save them for the end. That's it. That's definitely an interesting one. I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna wait on defense because there's so many guys to choose from. You almost can't go wrong. I'm gonna get the one I think kind of a luxury position that I typically wouldn't draft high, but there's not a ton to choose from. For my tight end, give me prime Jimmy Graham.
I knew you were gonna do that. Yeah.
Because there's a couple great running backs, but I'm cool with either.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Who should I go now? I'm gonna. Okay.
A lot of guys on defense.
For running back, I'm gonna go Sean Alexander.
League MVP, Madden cover makes sense. All right. Well, I know I'm going to end up picking Marshawn Lynch, but I'll just save him for the end because I don't need to pick a running back since you got him already. I may as well go in and pick my defensive player. This is a tough one. I have a lot of guys to choose from. There's Sherman, Chancellor, Thomas, Wagner. I think John Randall played for the Seahawks for a little bit.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Let me get my phone. Oh, my phone's right here. I do want to make sure I'm not looking up players, by the way, but I do want to make sure John Randall played for Seattle because I don't want to pick him and then it turns out, oh, he actually played for. I'm like 99% sure. Okay, there he is in a Seahawks uniform. I assume he played. Okay, he was there for 3 years, so he is an option. He was small. It feels wrong not to take a member of the Legion of Boom. It really does. I want to pick Cam Chancellor because he might be my favorite non-Raven of all time.
Yeah, he was fun to watch.
And he went to Virginia Tech. He's my
did he?
favorite. He's my favorite archetype of player. He's the safety who will knock your ass out.
Yeah.
And he might be the most aura-filled defensive player of all time with the visor. Dude was nuts. He would but he's not. He's probably not the right pick. But he's the guy in my heart. That's the pick. But my head says otherwise.
He should have been Super Bowl MVP. It shouldn't have been Malcolm Smith. I think it should. Yeah,
that's my guy. All right. For my defensive player, I'm going to get probably the best cover corner of his generation in zone. Give me Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman.
Unbelievable in his heyday. Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm going to go defensive player now, and I'm going to pick Earl Thomas.
Ravens legend, quote unquote. Oh, my God. That was brutal. Or Derrick Henry turned him into a lead blocker in the playoffs. I'll never forgive him. And he made Marlon Humphrey change his number. What a terrorist. All right. So I need a running back and I need my 2 wide receivers. There's no point in worrying about positional value now because you picked them all already. So I can just pick whoever I want. So I will take another one of my favorite players of all time, Marshawn Lynch.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I was thinking of going the fun route and picking Kurt Warner for my running back.
With a C. Say it right.
Kurt with a C. But for my quarterback, I'm going to draft Jim Zorn.
It was him or Dave Craig, probably. You know Darnold? You don't want Darnold?
Jim Zorn was fun. Jim Zorn, lefty, early Seahawks. He was a fun. He might not be.
You don't want Dan McGuire? You don't want Dan McGuire?
He might not be the best. Like maybe Matt Hasselbeck was better in his prime, but Jim Zorn was more fun. He's very 70s. So I'm going Jim Zorn.
You're going for old school aura. I see how it is.
Old school aura.
You're a traitor. All right. Let's see. All right, I need 2 wide receivers. First, I'm going to take one of the more underappreciated players of his generation. He gets kind of bashed because of a bad trade to Dallas, but I'm going to take Joey Galloway as my first receiver.
Okay.
He was really good for a little bit, but then he was sent to Dallas for 2 first-round picks. Then he kind of fell off. But then I think he went to Tampa and found his 1,000-yard form again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little short on receivers after you took Rice and I should have just picked Largent. I don't know why I didn't do it. But also, if I had picked Largent, you probably would have taken Russell. So
yeah,
I guess I just need to wear that one. Of course, I had to freaking lose the rock paper scissors. You got to be kidding me. All right, go ahead. You need your tight end.
I need my tight end. I'm gonna take because he was pretty good before he got injured to cut his career short. Zach Miller. He was the tight end on the Super Bowl team, on the 2013 team.
All right.
He was pretty good. Good.
He was solid. All right. Last pick. I'm going to take one of the most underrated players in NFL history. He was an absolute beast in his prime, but the problem is he never made the playoffs. My last pick is Brandon Marshall.
When was Brandon? Oh, was that like
he got cut.
Like 20?
I think 2018.
Okay. Yeah. Brandon Marshall was like cursed.
Yeah, like he never played in a playoff game in his whole career.
He never made the playoffs, and he'd sometimes go to teams who were in the playoffs the year before, and then they'd miss.
Yeah, he was on the 2009 Broncos that started 6-0, and then fell apart and missed. He missed out because of Chicago when Aaron Rodgers hit Cobb on 4th down. He was on the 10-6 Jets that didn't make it, and he was on the 2018 Saints but got cut and didn't play. So he didn't. Mm-hmm. He was on that Seahawks team. So that's it. I don't know. You blow me away at wide receivers, but I definitely won that quarterback by a lot, and I think I won at tight end too. That's a close one. I think
peak Sean Alexander. I think his 2005 outweighs Marshawn.
That's a close one though.
All right, as good as Marshawn was.
Yeah. All right, comment who won. All right, that's one draft out of the way. I think you know where this is going. Let's do another draft. Seahawks, Patriots. Let's do a Patriots-only draft. But here's the twist. Okay. Here, you ready for the twist?
Mm-hmm.
No Tom Brady.
I was going to say that's a good rule.
Brady is off limits.
That's a good rule. That's too easy.
It's a little similar to the Brady draft, but now you can take, past players.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and get it going. All right.
Are we going to rock, paper, scissors? Or you get the first
No,
pick.
I'm going first.
Yeah.
Screw you. I get the best receiver this time, you prick. All right. Draft the best NFL team possible, but you can only pick New England Patriots, and Tom Brady is off limits. All right, first overall pick. I think it's an easy one. Give me Randy Moss.
Randy Moss. That's a very easy pick. Number 2, and I see where you're going to go, but you've kind of put me into a position where I have to do this. I'm going to take Gronk with my first pick.
Okay. Moss and Gronk, maybe the most physically dominant wide receiver of all time and probably the greatest tight end of all time. And Brady got to throw to both of them. That's just fantastic. All right. Now this is where it gets interesting, but where do you go quarterback? Because you have Bledsoe. You have, let's see, I guess Garoppolo's okay for a little bit before, or I guess during Brady, I should say.
Tebow.
He never played a regular season game.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask, so we'll cut this part out of the short, of course.
Yeah.
If they're like a practice squad member, that doesn't count.
Yes,
right?
They have to have played a regular season down for the team or they don't count.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
I wonder if there's like an unsung like legend who played the last few like downs of his career. Because Bledsoe held the reins for a while.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Maybe I should just take Bledsoe unless I'm or Drake May. I definitely need to go. I definitely need to go ahead and get my quarterback out of the way. I can't let you have first dibs at that. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting somebody. Did they have some legend at the end of his career play for them as a backup? That's a tough one because obviously Matt Castle was good for a little bit, but it's Matt Castle.
Yeah. His 2008 was good when he replaced Brady.
He was decent. Got him a nice and he had a couple of decent moments with Kansas City. It's not like it was all bad.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to overthink it for my quarterback. Just give me Drew Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good one. For running back, I'm going to go Curtis Martin.
Yeah. I think that's a Hall of Famer. Maybe the greatest player who also hated football.
Did he hate football?
He did his Hall of Fame speech. He was like, guys, I never liked doing this. I never enjoyed football.
He was just good at it.
So it was something you love to say, something that you love to hear for your Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm leaning towards getting my defensive player out of the way next. See, if offensive linemen were a part of this, I picked John Hanna, but no, we're not drafting offensive linemen. Doesn't exactly make for fantastic content.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. I forgot he won a Super Bowl with them. For my defensive player, give me Darrelle Revis.
Okay. That's a good one. Okay, so I'm going to...
He played for the Patriots. And he won a Super Bowl with them.
Yeah, he was... he got a sack in the Super Bowl. Yeah, he sacked Russell Wilson on it was like a weird play where Russ came out to the... He rolled out to his left, and he did like an awkward like jolt forward, and Revis was there, and then kind of just like grabbed him by the legs, but it was behind,
I don't remember that.
It counted as a sack. Yeah,
I know who I want to pick next. If you don't pick him, I just want to make sure he actually played a down with the Patriots, but I know he wore the uniform, so that's what I'm looking up. Unless you take him from me, which I don't think you will.
Okay.
Okay, so then he signed. Okay, he did play for them. Okay, it's who I'm picking next unless you snipe him from me.
Okay. I'm gonna pick, because I have to fill out my receivers now. I'm gonna pick Chad Ochocinco. Chad Johnson.
Oh my God, you're kidding. I didn't think you knew he played for the Patriots.
Yeah, he made the Super Bowl. He was on the Super Bowl team where they lost in 2011.
He had a cup of coffee. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. I was so confident I was going to get Ochocinco. I did not think you were about to snipe him from me. Oh my God, I hate you so much. Now we have to improvise here. I don't need to worry about picking running back. You only have one receiver, right? It's just Ochocinco.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, I need to pick my other receiver then. I need to get that out of the way now. Of course, the first name that pops into my head is Wes Welker. Obviously, you have Edelman. I think he was kind of a Brady merchant, though. Respectfully, Edelman was great.
He was still good.
I do wonder if I should do what you did and pick Aaron Hernandez. Unless it's someone I'm not thinking of. Ah, wow. Wide receivers. I'm trying to think of, I don't want to pick just new players. I'm trying to think of old school guys I could take. That's really hard. There's not a lot of
I can't think of like there's not that many great offensive players that were on either of their pre-Brady Super Bowl teams that were like awesome, like
yeah,
great high tier players. Like there's nobody off the top of my head I could think of.
I mean, Troy Brown was good for a little bit, but I don't think he was better than Welker. Um, I'm trying to think of like 90s guys. Who was Bledsoe throwing to in the 90s? Troy Brown, obviously. I just said Troy Brown.
I have no idea who he
they
was
didn't
throwing
have
to.
they didn't have Ryzen. I would have said Ryzen. T.O. didn't play for them. Carter didn't play for them. Fitzgerald obviously didn't. Wow, I bet there's someone I'm not thinking of.
There must
if this goes on for too long, I'll just pick Wes Welker. But let's see. Who are some of the best receivers of all time that I'm not thinking of? Bruce didn't. Holt didn't. Who? No, Julio was with Tampa. No, Julio didn't play for the Patriots. Oh my god, that was brutal. I could just take Antonio Brown. You know what? Screw it. Antonio Brown. He was the best receiver in the league for a little bit, and he'd be a Hall of Famer if he wasn't a psychopath. So Antonio Brown. He's better than Wes Welker, respectfully.
Yeah, he is. I'm gonna take Welker. Gonna fill it out. Take Welker.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Just don't throw him the ball in the Super Bowl against the Giants. That's all that matters. Am I really about to pick Hernandez? You did it without thinking twice. You didn't really care.
Yeah. Wait, who's left? Who do you have to pick?
I need my running back and my tight end.
Running back, and I need. Who did you pick for quarterback?
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe. Oh, okay.
I'm looking this up too. I know this guy was good. I want to see how good. Like I think we should be allowed to look up how good they were. I'm not gonna Okay. Oh, he had 900 yards in one season with Chicago. Was Hernandez better? They were about the same. Their peak seasons were about the same. So you know what? We'll try to be morally correct. For my tight end, give me Martellus Bennett.
Okay. Yeah, Martellus Bennett was good.
He had a really good year with Chicago.
Yeah, and he replaced he filled in for Gronk well. Yeah. He did his job.
He drew the PI that gave him the ball at the goal line.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go defense, and I picked him in our other draft. I'm gonna go Junior Seau.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Junior Seau is one of the best to ever do it. He helped the San Diego Chargers make a Super Bowl, which that alone should get you in the Hall of Fame. So good for him.
Yeah.
All right, I have the last pick, and all I need is my running back, and you took Curtis Martin from me. Is there like a legend who had a cup of coffee with the Patriots? This is where I go down the list again. Because Jim Brown didn't, Barry Sanders didn't, Adrian Peterson didn't. He played for like half the league. I should have picked him over. I should have picked him over Marshawn Lynch, honestly. Now
he was on the Seahawks.
He was. I keep forgetting that Adrian Peterson played for the Seahawks. He had a cup of coffee with them. I keep thinking of the teammates that Brady had in Tampa. I can't take Le'Veon Bell. I picked Corey Dillon before. I could just pick him again. You know what? Let's switch it up. I didn't pick him last time, but maybe I should have. For my running back, give me Steven Jackson.
Yeah, Steven Jackson had a few great years.
The lone shining star on the 2009 Rams, one of the worst teams of all time.
And Steven Jackson only played in the playoffs. They signed him for the play in the 2015 playoffs. That wasn't even a Super Bowl year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out Steven Jackson. All right, comment who won. All right.
Oh, I'm not done. I didn't draft my quarterback.
You're not? Oh, wow. You need your quarterback. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So cut out that
That's
part.
crazy.
All right.
I'm leaving that in. I'm leaving that in. That's funny.
I'm going to pick Drake May. I was going to pick him over. I was going to pick him over Bledsoe. I feel like this.
Really?
Yeah. I think this singular season I feel like this one season he had that was really good was better than any peak that Bledsoe. Was Bledsoe ever in the MVP conversation?
Well, okay, that we're nitpicking here. Schedule tax. Okay, let's relax.
Okay.
Bledsoe was really good.
He was good.
4-time Pro Bowler back when it kind of mattered. Led the league in passing in 1994, but he did throw 27 picks. Oh my lord. Definitely a high volume guy. I don't know. I think the Airs, it's a different brand of football. Quarterbacks had less going for them. And Bledsoe never threw to fantastic wide receivers in New England.
No, he didn't.
All right, comment who won. All right, and the last thing we're gonna do, it's gonna be kind of similar to blind ranking, but not entirely. We're gonna do keep 4, cut 4.
Oh, okay, these are fun.
with Super Bowl MVPs. Keep 4, cut 4, Super Bowl MVPs edition. All right, first up, 2014 Tom Brady.
2014 Tom Brady. I think he had a couple of picks that game.
Down 10 against the Legion of Boom, led the comeback. Mm-hmm. And then he willed Malcolm Butler to get that interception.
Mm-hmm. Just because it's Tom Brady, and he did win MVP that game. Did he throw the 4 touchdowns? Did he contribute to the 28 points in every score?
He threw the last 2.
He threw the last 2. So he went, but he threw 2 picks, right?
I think so. And we need to make this quick. We don't have a lot of time.
Okay. I'm gonna keep him just because it's Brady.
All right.
It's Brady.
Next. All right. Next, we'll go to the next year, 2015 Von Miller. He has so much aura, he made you cough.
Keep. You got to keep Von Miller.
All right.
That was a crazy game.
Got to watch out. You only have 2 keeps left. Is this another one? 2017 Nick Foles.
Ooh, 2017 Nick Foles. That's ooh. He threw a pick that game.
But it got deflected. I think it hit Jeffrey in the hands.
Okay. He had a receiving touchdown.
The Philly special. All-time great play.
Special.
One up Brady because Brady dropped it.
Yeah. And Brady set the record for the most passing yards in the Super Bowl that game. And he lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he had 505. Yeah, he had 505. You know, I'm gonna so I have 2 keeps left.
Yes, and 4 cuts.
I'm gonna keep Foles.
All right, you got what? You better make it work. You have 1 keep left. All right. I have a feeling this is gonna be the first one. 2024 Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, cut. Get rid of him.
I knew it.
Got him. Got him.
Yeah, and I have a gut feeling this will be a second one. 2002 Dexter Jackson, your guy.
Cut. He shouldn't have made. He shouldn't. Yeah. I'm gonna cut him. I think he definitely contributed in the sense that let's just keep going. I don't have to explain it.
All right. 1 second. Okay. You have 3 left. You have 1 keep left. I have a feeling it won't be this guy. 2004 Deion Branch.
Oh, he had a good game. He did have a good game.
T.O. outplayed him with a screw in his ankle.
Yeah, I'm going to cut him. I'm going to cut Deion Branch.
All right, you have 1 cut left. You have 1 keep left. Are you keeping or cutting 2019 Patrick Mahomes?
2019 Mahomes.
Jet chip wasp.
So that game, that was the first Super Bowl. I remember the big deciding touch, like the one that sealed it was a rushing touchdown, right?
The one that really put it away, but the Chiefs were winning already. Yeah.
Yeah, the Chiefs were winning because they won 31-20.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I'm gonna, because I have a feeling that the last one is gonna be good. I'm gonna to cause controversy. I'm hoping this causes controversy. I'm gonna cut Mahomes.
Okay, you're bold. You made a bold move, and objectively, it did not pay off. But subjectively, in your heart, I think it did pay off. Your last keep is 2007 Eli Manning.
Oh yeah, keep him. I can't cut him. I don't care.
Yeah, you can't cut him. You might get made fun of for a bad list, but in your heart of hearts, you won.
I won.
How does that make you feel? You lost, but you won. You lost in your head, but you won in your heart.
I think that was a pretty good list.
Yeah, it was definitely I think your biggest hit was keeping Foles. I thought you were going to cut him.
Yeah.
The objectively perfect list is switching Mahomes and Eli, but it was a more of a good list than bad.
Yeah.
Kind of like your blind rankings. It wasn't bad. All right, we got some shorts content out, and that is it. That is the end of the episode. If anyone's still watching, here's what we're gonna do. If you're somehow still watching, give me your hot take for the NFL awards next week. Who do you think should who should win MVP or Coach of the Year? Give us your hot take in the comments. And with that being said, that is it. Next week we'll probably talk Hall of Fame. That'll be interesting because it'll be around that time. We'll definitely do awards picks. That's something we want to do for sure. Or will the awards have already happened when next week?
No. Awards are the night. The awards in the Hall of Fame are announced the same night. It's the day before the Super Bowl.
2026 NFL honors. Let's just make sure. Okay, February 5th. So, okay, it won't be out yet. So we'll do our awards picks. We'll do our Hall of Fame picks. And hey, you never know if something happens in the next week. It'll make for great content.
Sure.
So that being said, comment your hot take about the NFL awards, and we'll see you next time. Later.
See ya.